This motion today is not unimportant, but it is a symbol of support. The flotilla itself is also a symbol, but it is much more. It is an actual action. It is an action towards developing and delivering a humanitarian corridor into Gaza, something which the international community has failed to do, something which, if successful, would be a balance to the abhorrent Gaza Humanitarian Fund as set up by Israel and the United States. We know an awful lot about turning symbols into action in this country. When South Africa was under apartheid, a group of Dunstore's workers became both symbols for their action when they went on strike against the government of South Africa. Our neutrality, which we hold so dearly, is another symbol which we have turned into action all over the world. And now we must do the same again. The global Sumud Flotilla is a symbol of justice, peace, humanity, but it is also an action. And I know I speak for this House when I say that the rights of all citizens on the flotilla, including Irish citizens, to engage in peaceful international protest must be protected. Those taking part in the flotilla, including some of our own public representatives, are exercising their right to stand for justice and peace in a non-violent manner. These activists are not a threat to the existence of Israel, as some in the Israeli government are saying. They are not actors on behalf of Hamas, as the Israeli government are saying. Senator Chris Andrews, whose commitment to this issue is decades long, and should probably still be a member of this House given his commitment to this issue, is not an actor for Hamas. Deputy Heenan, despite some curious associations within this House, is not a member or an actor for Hamas. The medics, the activists, the humanitarians, they are members of this flotilla. They deserve protection. The Israeli language, as well as their actions, has been one of violence and escalation. Israeli authorities have characterised this mission as a publicity stunt. It is anything but. To those claims, I think the most appropriate is to quote Greta Thunberg, perhaps one of the most potent threats to weak male leaders in the world, who was also part of the flotilla, when she said and told the BBC, first of all, I don't think anyone would risk their lives for a publicity stunt, and second of all, if you think it's a publicity stunt, then ask the people of Gaza if they consider it a publicity stunt. Every single member of this flotilla is risking their lives with their actions at this moment. Israel can insist all at once that its blockade is necessary to prevent aid falling into the hands of Hamas. What absolute, utter nonsense. There is no aid, or next to no aid, getting in. The blockade that Israel have imposed, as backed up by the United States, as well as others in the international community, is behind the widespread hunger, the famine, the ethnic cleansing and the genocide to which this flotilla is standing up against. We have seen a number of countries send naval vessels to protect the flotilla, and it is our view that we should send our own naval vessel, in the very least in an observational capacity. Our role of peacekeepers is respected globally. We see presidential candidates bash their shoulder last night in debates to where the Irish flag once was sewn, and how proud they were of their neutrality and role in peacekeeping. Well, let's fly the flag above an Irish ship and protect not only the Irish citizens, but all the citizens on this flotilla. That would be an action. This would not breach the this would not need a UN mandate or breach the triple lock. Operation Pontus in the Mediterranean did not breach the triple lock, and that is a precedent for such action. The flotilla is approximately maybe 4 days away from reaching Gaza, but there is an expectation or a sense or a fear that we could have an interception tonight. It has been a week since the attacks on the flotilla, but we are less than maybe between 12 and 24 hours away to seeing further violence and interception and worse, perhaps, to this flotilla. What happens then? We do not know. What we do know is that international law must be respected at all times and at all costs. The Israeli government have not respected international law when it comes to this flotilla. They have breached every single kind of international law with their bombardment of Gaza for nearly 2 years and their strangling of aid getting into Gaza since March. We must be clear that any activity targeting civilians or humanitarian workers will be unacceptable to the Irish people. As one of the family members said in our meeting less than an hour ago, they said that the Irish people are carrying the pride of the Irish view when it comes to Palestinian solidarity, that the Irish government is not, because we're not acting quick enough. We're not acting quick enough in the Occupied Territories Bill. We're not acting quick enough to protect the members of this flotilla. It is the Irish people that are carrying the pride and the stance of Ireland when it comes to Palestinian solidarity. We need real action now, Minister, and I hope that following this symbolic motion that we will actually see it. Thank you.